Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton, your voice in the mortgage industry. 888-713-2929 is the telephone number. Pick up the phone, give us a call, and we talk mortgages. A lot of purchases out there currently, a lot more than we had last month. Surprisingly, in the new housing market, it really picked up here in Southern California, certainly in the San Bernardino Riverside area. Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Again, I'm Jeff Barton. You can see us on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, Financing Mortgage, you can see this show as well as numerous others, as well as our television show out of Las Vegas, the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. There are all kinds of opportunities coming up and available, but there are some things in the news this week which are really astounding, unbelievable, things that you just don't see every day. One of them is the huge tax bill that is passed through the House and the Senate and is on its way to the president's desk as we speak. I wanted to speak to that just briefly. Wanted to bring Daryl on quickly just to ask him if he's ever seen such a monumentous and large tax bill sent through the House and the Senate, as well as the repercussions to families here in Southern California. What do you think about that tax bill, Daryl?
Well, what bothers me is all the people that's voted for that says they haven't read it.
Well, you know what? Isn't that true with most things that get passed? I mean, I think people line up Republican or Democrat to one side of the issue versus the other without really having enough knowledge to make an educated guess.
Well, how many pages? 1,000?
Oh, I think it's probably 1,700 pages long. Most of it legalese, referring back to subsection C of paragraph D in the referring document, and people glaze right over. I've read many of these things in the past when I come across contracts, and we in our business, we're signing loan documents every day, and this says a lot to the fact that those of you out there who are signing loan docs, are you reading your loan docs? Probably not every word. Some people do, and some people ask a lot of questions, but most out there trust. And you know what? Like this tax bill, I'm not sure whether we trust, but I do know one thing, it has passed. One of the things that are in the tax bill that they changed was it was supposed to be a $10,000 deduction on just your real estate taxes, and now they've adjusted that to say that it also is including state and local taxes, so that you have up to $10,000 in terms of not write-off, but there is a reduction in the amount of money that you need to pay as a result of that $10,000 spread over both your taxes and local and state taxes. I think that's a good thing.
How many times have we made a major purchase or signed a contract where the person executing with you just says, sign here, 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 page 3, page 7, page 9, and you go, well, what's it say? They say, well, don't worry about it.
Well,
rental car agreements.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you're in a time crunch. If you're in a mortgage and you're sitting at the closing table, or somebody sends you loan documents and there's a notary sitting there at your house, or you happen to go to the escrow company and you want to ask a question, you know what? Your loan officer is not necessarily there. The escrow officer or the signing person, whoever that be, the notary, they don't know what the answer is. So really, you're stuck. Either you sign them or you don't do your loan, and you're supposed to close on the property, or you're trying to do a refi because you need the cash out. You're not reading anything, especially if there's anything you don't understand. I think that's just the nature of the business, but that's the way it is. And let me ask you this. When it comes down to electronic documents being sent, there's nobody to ask. It's not like you're sitting with anybody. You're just sitting by your computer. I get them every day. I get lots of them. Sent to me, electronic signature, initial here, initial there, and get it back in 5 minutes. Well, it's a 30-page document. How am I supposed to read it, let alone understand it? Can't happen.
Plus, if you can't actually negotiate the terms and conditions, if they're not allowed to change anything, it's a contract of adherence anyway, which really doesn't hold water legally.
Well, it's funny you say that. Most of the documents that I sign as a lender, as a broker with the people that I sign, they say if you alter the document, it is void in any way. Sign here, here, and here, meaning that you're agreeing, but at the second hand, I don't know if you remember Leona Helmsley. You remember her?
Oh, sure, of course.
Okay, well, Leona Helmsley, for those of you who do not know, was married to a guy named, what was his first name?
Mr.
Helmsley.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So Mr. Helmsley owned a lot of buildings in New York City. I mean, he was a billionaire before the term billionaire was really used that much. Owned something called the Palace in New York City, the Helmsley Palace. And his wife, obviously, for many years, when she was brought to court for not paying taxes after her husband had passed away, she said, hey, I didn't even know what I was signing. I just signed anything, and she tried to claim zero responsibility because not only did she sign it, but she never read it, didn't understand it, and nobody ever explained it to her. Well, you know what happened to her.
She went to jail.
Yes, she did. So if you're out there thinking that somehow you signing a document or me signing a document or you're in any kind of a legal situation whereby you're not allowed to change the document, but you have to sign it, yes, you're still responsible for those things within the document. So that's what's happening in the tax bill overhaul today. It's not today, but this week signed and going to the president. Interesting that this is the major accomplishment of this particular Congress. I think it speaks volumes to, the Republicans as a whole love to cut taxes. And is there anybody out there who wants to pay more taxes? No, not really, right? No, not. And does anyone ever trust the government to spend it the most wisely? No, probably not. But if you're talking to those who are, I guess, would be labeled Democrat or liberal, or they seem to think that there is a way by which somebody within government can find a way to spend your money more wisely than you can. It's never been an argument I've understood, but on the Republican side, I've never understood the everybody pays their fair share versus no, let's do a flat reduction in the amount of taxes paid by everybody, which of course only favors who? The extremely wealthy, right? So if you're a billionaire out there, today's a great day for you, And from what I understand, in 2026, everybody who's getting a tax break today is going to go back to the original taxes, which stand today, which means that the permanent tax cuts for the wealthy and businesses, and by the way, the business tax down to 20%, isn't it, or is it 30%?
I think it's in the low 20s.
I think it is too, and I think that is really from an upper amount of 39%, I think all the way down to 20%. This is going to mean a big deal. Now, the hope is, of course, and this was not unlike the bailout of the major banks back in 2008, whereby they got huge tax benefits, and all of the major 10 banking institutions were received, and I don't know if you saw the movie about it, Too Big to Fail, but they all received billions and billions of dollars, and the hope was that they were going to lend it back to general Joe Q public on the street, which they never did. They kept the money. Not only did they keep the money, but they invested the money that they got for free in government securities and got paid 1% to 3%. So basically, they just made a lot of money. So the hope is here that businesses like then, if they get a tax break, will reinvest it and give more money to their employees, be able to obviously employ more people, buy more equipment. We don't know if that's true. This is the trickle-down theory of economics, disproved many, many times over. And again, not a well thought out in terms of that. But paying less in taxes, who's not going to like that? Am I right?
Well, yeah, I was going to say trickle-down economics goes back to the Reagan years.
Absolutely.
And the assumption was that the pocketbook had a hole in the bottom, and that when money went in the top, it started to flow out the bottom as well, and we found out several times it does not.
Right, and the famous quote, Jesse Jackson, rising tides does not raise all boats, and that's very true in terms of what's happening today as well, in my opinion. Daryl?
You are 100% correct.
That's right, yes. And we're dragging out all our 60s and 80s. I guess Reagan was around in the 80s, although he was governor here in California in the 60s as well.
Yeah, we knew him for a while before he got to the big house.
That's exactly.
So to speak.
not the big house.
Not the big house,
although,
but the big White House.
You know, if you're of a mind and of a believer, he's really in the big house right now.
Exactly, depending, yeah.
It's exactly right. Hey, listen, if you want to see us, hear us, and view us, you can certainly do that on many different channels and ways that you can. Our email, of course, is info@malibufunding.net. And if you want to see us on Facebook, go to Facebook, type in Home Loans, Malibu Funding, Inc., and we pop right up. I'm Jeff Barton, your voice in the mortgage industry, and we'll be right back.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Successful Strategies International offers state-of-the-art PMP certification and an entire curriculum of project management, risk management, portfolio and program management by using unique learning techniques such as online learning, simulations, and facilitator lead programs. Our clientele consists of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in existence. SSI has trainers all across North America, Europe, and Asia to help meet your project management needs. Learn more at ssi-learn.com. That's ssi-learn.com.
Are you experiencing hair loss? We have the solution with no drugs, no surgery, and no side effects. Experience 100% pain-free results with Super Grow Laser Cap System, featuring 272 professional-grade lasers that make your hair thicker and fuller naturally. Use it 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week, and notice your hair growth in as little as 3 months. Visit online at irevivelaser.com to order your Super Grow Laser Cap today and experience unbelievable results. irevivelaser.com.
Your nose just a little bit. I need the sun off. There you go. When we do our workshops, we choose top locations like Red Rock Canyon for fashion, or we choose Cancun beaches for the glamour photography. There you go. Good, good, good. We set up all the models. We have sponsors like Canon that bring out lenses and camera equipment, bodies that you can work with. We teach you how to use those. We teach you how to work with your equipment that you bring out. ISO 400, I'm shooting 1,000 shutter. I'm wide open at 2.8. Some of you are going to be at 3.5. So whether you're a beginner or intermediate and you want to advance to the next level, or even if you're advanced now and you just want to learn more process, more value, learn your equipment a little bit better, take better pictures, check out one of our workshops. You can check out JeromeHamilton.com. We have a workshops page that'll get you there. We bring the top of the line models to all of our events, and we take you to the best places.
Is your car starting to give you some trouble? Then come on down to Gyra Tire Shop and Service, where we offer a wide range of services such as new and used tires, balance and repair, brakes, AC repair, professional auto diagnostics. We promise you high-quality service at an affordable price. We're located on the corner of Boulder Highway and Wells Street. Do yourself and your car a favor. Come down to Gyra Tire Shop and Service.
Ruthless Cowboys, keeping the American dream alive and creating jobs one t-shirt at a time. From fabric to design, Ruthless Cowboys makes 100% American-made apparel that hardworking Americans are proud to wear. At RuthlessCowboys.com, you can shop our shirts and accessories for the cowboy or cowgirl in your life. Head to RuthlessCowboys.com, check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching Ruthless Cowboys. Ruthless Cowboys, we're all about family, country, and keeping it all American. RuthlessCowboys.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton, your voice in the mortgage industry. 888-713-2929 is the telephone number. Pick up the phone and call us right now. We talk about mortgages, a lot about purchase mortgages, especially this time of year. Surprised how many houses out there are available at a much better deal than they were in June or July. People around the holidays sometimes take a little time off, and those properties that are still on the market are looking for buyers, so the sellers are much more apt to be negotiable at this time of year. I'm Jeff Barton, and thanks for listening to the show. If you want to reach us by email, it's info@malibufunding.net. And of course, we're on YouTube. My Twitter account is at Jeff6493. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm one of these Twitterites who like to put out positive information. So if you don't like puppy dogs and butterflies, don't sign me up on your Twitter account. Anyway, I really appreciate you listening to the show, and to those great people at KCAA and KMET and the Roadrunner who bring the show to our audience in the IE, San Bernardino, and Riverside counties. Thank you very much. And for those out in Clark County, Nevada, who see the show on TV, again, thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for listening. We bring to the show a lot of times different people who can help you understand the process of loans, and George Gonzalez is no exception. George is a loan officer for Malibu Funding in the IE. George, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing great, Jeff. I'm doing great, man. How you doing out there with all those fires over there near you?
You know, it's funny you say that. We talk a lot on the show about what things can affect what you do with loans, and fires is certainly one of them. We get fires, earthquakes, and a lot of rain. So of those three things this year, I'm sure somewhere here in my listening area, you've been affected somewhat. Earlier in the year, it was the water, and then certainly the rains coming and the drought before that. How do you handle that when when it comes to, like, let's say you were in a fire zone or an earthquake zone, or maybe it was a flood zone, and your borrowers have their funding delayed because it's been declared a disaster area. That's happening a lot out here. What do you say to your clients when something like that happens, George?
Well, I don't know how to say it, like, in a good or bad way, but I mean, I don't have any of that happening to me. So I have a couple of partners who were realtors who were dealing with that. They were posting on Facebook, like an emergency, who can insure these properties that are in this certain diameter of where the fires were.
Right.
And so I knew it was a big demand. So, unfortunately, I don't know. I wouldn't even know what to tell them. I mean, you can't close your loan. I'm sorry, until you get some homeowners insurance. The bank ain't going to do it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. What happens normally is that they have to go out for a re-inspect, and that, of course, is there's a delay of usually about 15 to 30 days, which can really affect real estate contracts. And I'm not sure, as you said, you're not dealing with it. So, it's a type of thing whereby in your area, in this area, it's just has to have everybody calm down and relax and wait. And I know there are timetables which people rely upon, especially from us. How are you in general living up to the timeframes of a contract and a purchase deal? What are the best ways to ensure that it gets done on time?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because especially in this time during Christmas season and holiday season, where everybody's putting their feet on the desk and saying ho ho ho,
right?
And our clients and our buyers are like, we want our house before Christmas. No, they say no,
yeah.
And we're like,
yep.
Well, here we go. So basically, what I've been doing is just chasing everybody down. I've been staying in work pretty late, just making sure I had this needs to be done checklist, and at the end of the day, making sure that I'm not leaving until I got an answer from everybody in the process to make sure we're moving forward and not just plateaued on my deal. And it gets a little harder during this time because, like I said, it's hard people don't want to answer your calls.
Yeah, no, I know. And a lot of the companies do take time off or have some of their staff take time off, so just reaching somebody that can help you is difficult as well.
Right. And, obviously people buying that home, they don't want to hear all that. They don't care. Even though sometimes, I hate to say it, their feet are on the desk too.
Right. No, it's a hurry up and wait for most things. And in our business, that really doesn't satisfy those that need something done right now. And as you say, even those people this time of year are taking time off family. You've got holidays to plan. And yeah, it's just not a simple thing. I wanted to get into what's going on with the new loan application and some of the aspects of it that you've seen. Maybe describe some of the changes, maybe in the demographic information that are asked of borrowers. What's new or what's changed, or do you see anything that might be different in the loan application today than there will be in the future?
Well, yeah, of course. The bigger thing is they're being more thorough per each application. And, the new 1003 has you putting different things, especially like you were saying regarding the demographic information in Section 7. It talks more about the ethnicity, race, and sex. It goes into a little more depth because the old one, all it asked you was the ethnicity, Hispanic or Latino, not Hispanic or Latino, and then it had race, American, Indian, or Alaska Native, Native Hawaiian, other Pacific Islander, Asian, white, black, or African American, and then it had the sex option, which was male, female. So now, to give you an example, the ethnicity is Hispanic or Latino, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, or other Hispanic or Latino. They want you to write it down. If, for example, if it's a Colombian, Dominican, Nicaraguan, and so forth, then it has, again, I do not wish to provide this information, the option. Now, the other ones that's changed or they added was under sex. It says female, male, and now they have an option. I do not wish to provide this information.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Let's say, and this is all for the borrower to fill out, right?
That is correct. Well, for the loan officer to get this information from as best they can without trying to offend the buyer, that's giving this information, which is very sensitive to some people.
Well, I think it's sensitive to a lot of people, especially if you're answering questions like, I did not wish to provide this information. Obviously, there's a sensitivity built into the document. What do you do if people do not want to fill this out?
Then you got to make a judgment on your own. So there's another spot on the application that I've seen to be completed by the financial institution, which will be us, the bank. Mm-hmm. And it says, was the ethnicity of the borrower collected on the basis of visual observation or surname? or was the sex of the borrower collected on the basis of visual observation or surname or the race. So that gives you, now you got to take a guess at, oh, I think it was a female or I think it was a male.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to. I think this is a real thorn and a problematic area on the 1003. Especially they're asking more in-depth information, and to what purpose I'm not really sure, because it doesn't really explain it. At least with the income verification and the income documentation, you understand you need to pay for the loan. That's why you're doing it. Here, I'm not quite sure what's it all about, and so I think you're going to find that the loan officer is going to have to fill out a lot of this stuff.
Correct. So that just means I'm going to have to hire some more help, yes.
Yeah, exactly right. Okay, prospects for the new year. We're ending in 2017. There's a new tax overhaul that just happened. What do you think is going to happen as a result of the new tax bill, how it's going to affect real estate, i.e., how is it going to affect us in the loan business? And then, I don't know if you've heard, but the IRS is having some issues with a new form, and it may delay loan processing up to 30 to 60 days.
Wow. See, this is news. This what just came out. I haven't had a chance to really dig into that. I've been so buried with what I'm doing. But I don't know, man. To me, and it's always been the same. You know, some people are going to care. Most people are not. And
Right.
they just want to just still buy their house, you know, because, you know, buying a house is you're going to pay rent. You're going to pay something to live somewhere.
Yep.
And, you know, if you want to pay, you want to live with family or you want to live with friends, and you're going to have to deal with their mess. And so most people don't want to do that. They want their own life, and they're willing to pay for it. And, you know, they're going to, won't care what tax rate it is, or they don't care what taxes, because trust me, I have some guys in Beaumont who are paying double taxes than they would in Ontario. And to them, they don't care. That's where they want to live, closer to work, whatever the deal is.
Right.
But the tax is a tax. And, you know, we all got, here's the thing I always tell people is, it's not just you, it's everybody.
Right.
So it's not like we should get offended or mad. No, it's not against just us. It's everybody has to go through the same thing. So, you know, we all eat it together.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Hey, George, could you give your phone number out for those people out in the Inland Empire, San Bernardino, Riverside?
My direct line out here in the IE is 909-900-9565.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you coming back on the show once again, giving us your expertise and expectations for next year. Thanks, George.
Hey, thanks, Jeff.
Okay, very well. And I'm Jeff Barton, your voice in the mortgage industry. We'll be right back.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Are you experiencing hair loss? We have the solution with no drugs, no surgery, and no side effects. Experience 100% pain-free results with Super Grow Laser Cap System, featuring 272 professional-grade lasers that make your hair thicker and fuller naturally. Use it 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week, and notice your hair growth in as little as 3 months. Visit online at irevivelaser.com to order your Super Grow Laser Cap today and experience unbelievable results. irevivelaser.com.
Ruthless Cowboys, keeping the American dream alive and creating jobs one t-shirt at a time. From fabric to design, Ruthless Cowboys makes 100% American-made apparel that hardworking Americans are proud to wear. At RuthlessCowboys.com, you can shop for shirts and accessories for the cowboy or cowgirl in your life. Head to RuthlessCowboys.com, check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching Ruthless Cowboys. Ruthless Cowboys, we're all about family, country, and keeping it all American. RuthlessCowboys.com.
Successful Strategies International offers state-of-the-art PMP certification and an entire curriculum of project management, risk management, portfolio and program management by using unique learning techniques such as online learning, simulations, and facilitator lead programs. Our clientele consists of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in existence. SSI has trainers all across North America, Europe, and Asia to help meet your project management needs. Learn more at ssi-learn.com. That's ssi-learn.com.
Well, Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton, your voice in the mortgage industry. 888-713-2929 is the telephone number. Pick up the phone, give us a call. We talk mortgages a lot on this show. That's kind of what we do here at the Mortgage Voice. I try to give you information that you're going to need in order to get a mortgage, whether you're going to buy a house, whether you want to refinance, all the questions you're probably thinking about for this year. If you're in the mode to buy and you're looking around this holiday season, just remember that this is a great time of year to be able to go out and find a property, because most properties are taken off the market. Most people out there are not looking this time of year, so you could probably get yourself a pretty good deal. Malibu Funding is out there helping you in terms of the financing element of it. There are all kinds of loan products available now, and there will be new loan products available in the new year. We have a major tax bill that is being signed and sent to the president, which is going to affect how mortgages are done, the write-offs, the type of income that we're all hoping that we get an increase on next year. All of this is affected by the tax bill, so make sure you call some professional, somebody who's in the business, who can give you the best and most up-to-date advice. We bring to the show each and every week interesting guests, and we've had on the show many times before people in the marketing and in the area of online and web providing for services to promote what you're doing advertising-wise, whether it's on a website or whether it's through email marketing campaigns. And this particular guest, Jamie Knight from the Blue Knight Agency, is no exception. Jamie, I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Well, thanks for having me, Jeff.
And thank you very much. Listen, in what you do, could you just give a quick overall view of what your, I guess, approach is in trying to bring online marketing to companies that may or may not have been using it in the past?
Well, yeah, sure. So the very first thing I would say to a company that hasn't been using online marketing in the past is to start using online marketing immediately and to get into the present, because this is how we live our lives now. You know, my agency believes in a lot of the old school things like customer service and referrals and the way people used to do business that you probably, if you're an old school business owner, are very comfortable with.
Right.
But and when people hear, you know, people that used to do things the old way hear about new stuff, it maybe can seem a little scary. But the thing is that a referral now is tagging someone on Facebook. So if you have a business that you're promoting and you've made an engaging post and someone wants to tell their friend about you or wants to tag their husband because they're in the car and they're working and or whatever and they don't have time, they're just going to go, hey, check this out. That is extremely strong. So then that's the same thing as referral, you know? So these things still exist. These older concepts exist, but they're just digital now.
Okay, when you're converting or when you're using, I guess, this form of advertising, and forgive me, anybody out there who's listening who's going, duh, don't you know that? And I go, well, a lot of people don't, especially old guys like me, you know. So
lots of people don't.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. In the media that we're talking about, let's see, websites, let's see, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. What are some of the other major websites that are being used in order to promote businesses now in the way that you're saying, and how do you reach this audience?
So what you want to do is you want to go where the people are. Mm-hmm. So you need to think about who your target demographic is. And if your target demographic is someone and these are very, very easy things to find online, and there's a lot of data about this, but each of these different social media platforms has a very specific demographic. Pinterest is almost entirely women. And it's not particularly young women. So if you're trying to reach women from, 30 to 60, Pinterest is actually going to be a really fantastic avenue for you to take. If your target demographic is, if you're selling, like motocross bikes to young guys, then you're going to want to focus on Snapchat or Instagram or things like that. So you really, doing this research is a very quick Google search to just say, which platforms should I use for my type of business? And so, I think YouTube is one of the most underrated and underused of all the social platforms. Mm-hmm. And it's by far one of the most important because Google owns it. And so whatever you put up on YouTube is going to be searched the fastest by Google. And then also the comments under that are very, very strong. And people want to share YouTube videos a lot. So don't neglect your YouTube whenever you do decide which platform platforms that you want to go with.
Okay, length of video, and what type of push do you get in order to bring people to, like, let's say, for instance, let's just use me. I'm a mortgage company. I've got a few videos on YouTube. How do I get that message out to the general public to come and see my videos?
Okay, so the best way to do that, to reach the general public just in general, is going to be Facebook.
Right. Okay.
So Facebook's gold. Here's a little trick that everybody needs to understand. Facebook doesn't want to promote YouTube links as much as they want to promote their own links. That's pretty obvious. They're actually competition.
Right.
So what you want to do on Facebook is you want to upload all of your videos directly to Facebook. The very next best thing you should do is make sure that you don't have a video that's too long. Anything over 15 seconds on Facebook, I mean, you better be Game of Thrones related. You know, like 15 seconds max, and then have a nice little button underneath it that says learn more. They click that, it brings up a little box, or it goes to a landing page, and that can take you right where it needs to be. So, you know, keep them short, keep them sweet, and on Facebook it's beautiful because it's got the most people on it. So when you're narrowing down your demographic and you're choosing the zip code and you're choosing the economic level of the people that you want to reach, I mean, you can really get specific on Facebook.
Now, when you're doing, for the Blue Knight Agency, I take it that you guys mainly help people create their own videos or their own message or a way to reach the demographic they want to do. Tell us how you do that.
Well, okay, so this is the biggest change in social media marketing and really digital marketing of all kinds. Like, you hear about SEO, right?
Yep.
The biggest change over the last year has been that people aren't impressed anymore just because you're there. You have to be putting out really engaging content. And so the first thing that we do at our agency is that we want to talk with these business owners about, we want to know about our demographics, but we also want to talk about what works for them. You know, when they've pitched their product to someone in the past, what makes someone's eyes light up?
Right.
You know, what's going to get someone to be like, you know, when you go to a trade show and you're talking to someone and they want to share their story about this thing that happened, you know, what did you say that made them want to share their story? And that's the type of content that you've got to focus on these days, because people love to talk about themselves on the internet.
Yep.
But the key is to be engaging, because you could sit there and you could make the post every single day and wonder why nothing's happening, and it's because no one cares.
Right.
So you have to actually put out stuff that people care about.
And finding that information, that's part of what you do at the company, right? And by the way, I want to have people understand that you guys are for hire, and if you could give me a way by which they could get in touch with you, that'd be great.
Sure. We're at BlueKnightagency.com. I'm Knight with a K, so blue like the colors, Knight like Sir Lancelot, agency.com.
Okay, very good.
We have clients everywhere, and thanks for that plug, Jeff.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah.
That's part of why I wanted you on the show, because I think what you do is unique, and you obviously work wonders for a lot of different companies, mine included, in terms of getting not only the message out, but in presenting a person, a staid industry like mortgages or whatever the industry that you're in a unique and fascinating way to capture a younger demographic, younger audience that would be interested in using the products and services. That's very important.
Well, it's very important, and what you're doing right now, even by working with us and doing your show, what you're doing is something that a lot of business owners don't want to do, which is get their own face and their own name and their own image involved.
Right.
A lot of people think, I'm not interesting.
Right.
I'm a plumber. I'm not interesting. Why do I need to make a video interviewing me? Because people want to know, like, you're an actual human being.
Right.
You're a real human being. You're not just a TV commercial trying to say, oh, I'm the best plumber. Like, no, everybody thinks they're the best plumber. I want to know who Joe is.
Right.
And why Joe is someone that I should have in my home working on my stuff. I want to know who Joe, I want to feel like I know Joe so that I can be like, hey, I got a plumbing guy. Hey,
Right.
my friend, you need a plumber, you need to use my plumbing guy. Like, this is the type of stuff that people want. And what you're doing in your industry is people know Jeff. And that's gold.
Jamie, I'm up against the clock. I really want to appreciate you coming on the show, and I want to thank you. Thank you very much.
Anytime.
I really appreciate it. And that's Jamie Knight from the Blue Knight Agency, and I really appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks very much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. And I'm Jeff Barton, your voice in the mortgage industry. We'll be right back.
Ruthless Cowboys, keeping the American dream alive and creating jobs one t-shirt at a time. From fabric to design, Ruthless Cowboys makes 100% American-made apparel that hardworking Americans are proud to wear. At RuthlessCowboys.com, you can shop for shirts and accessories for the cowboy or cowgirl in your life. Head to RuthlessCowboys.com, check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching Ruthless Cowboys. Ruthless Cowboys, we're all about family, country, and keeping it all American. RuthlessCowboys.com.
Successful Strategies International offers state-of-the-art PMP certification and an entire curriculum of project management, risk management, portfolio and program management by using unique learning techniques such as online learning, simulations, and facilitator lead programs. Our clientele consists of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in existence. SSI has trainers all across North America, Europe, and Asia to help meet your project management needs. Learn more at ssi-learn.com. That's ssi-learn.com.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton, your voice in the mortgage industry. 888-713-2929 is the telephone number. If you pick up the phone and give us a call right now, you can get on the air and talk to me about mortgages. And we talk a lot about different things that you can do with your mortgage, whether you want to do a refi, a purchase. It is that time of year where everybody's kind of settling in and not really doing too much. They don't want to talk about real estate. They just want to have cookies and drink eggnog and enjoy the season. Well, if you're out there right now and you're thinking nobody's working for me and I want to buy a house, well, you can get your answers here. We have a lot of good, hungry loan officers who are looking for people to help. And if we can't help you, we'll certainly point you in the right direction. We try to do that each and every week on the show by bringing guests to the show who can help you make decisions, make better informed decisions. We've had a couple of great guests here today. One, Jamie Knight, who was just talking to us about online. Now, we try to bring that aspect to the forefront a lot. I know we've had a couple people talk about LinkedIn and Facebook and the different ways by which you can reach the audience and how you're being reached. If you're out there right now and you've getting all kinds of information sent to you via Facebook or LinkedIn or any number of other ways, or if you're an avid searcher on YouTube, you're wondering why certain videos are showing up in your video space when you're searching for other videos. You know, Google does an unbelievable job of identifying what you're looking at and what you're looking for, and they will do an incredible job in presenting that to advertisers so they can advertise to you. Facebook does it too, obviously. And so those two competing services, as we just learned from Jamie over at Blue Knight, are the ways that you're being reached by advertisers, also by providers of information. And one thing I thought Jamie talked about, which I really thought was interesting, was that consumers are tired of same old. And she said last year, 2017, I think is what she was referring to this year, really almost over, is that what we have is a continuing sophistication of the marketplace viewing content. And that content out there is short vids. And that's what she was saying. Now, they do a lot of work for me as for the Mortgage Voice, and we do the Las Vegas Real Estate Show as well. And we're doing 15-second, 30-second videos or clips or teases or however it is, and then we are getting them into the marketplace, either by boosting through Facebook or by email campaigns with video links to it. All of these ways by which we can deliver messages to you are the way that consumers are being reached for all industries, in the mortgage industry specifically. You know, we've talked on the show about Quicken Loans and their use of Rocket Mortgage and how that is supposed to change the way people do loans, i.e. you can do your loan by yourself on your phone, and you can in seconds get a quote to you as to what can be approved from the loan. Now, I don't think that's necessarily 100% accurate unless you can provide documented evidence to the lender. So the approval is based on, obviously you being able to say, yes, this is documentation, here's the documents, here's everything you need to do to approve me. But instantly, if you just plug in information to that, but this information, when it's delivered to you in this way, electronically, or the instantaneous way that messages are delivered either through LinkedIn or by a company like Jamie's to Facebook or YouTube, very interesting, and obviously the way of the future by which consumers, you out there, are going to be accessing people like me. You have everyday needs, whether it's be your groceries or whether you need to get to school or to work. You have transportation needs. All of it is changing. I saw, and Daryl, I want to ask you a question. I saw an incredible video today, and it was about Elon Musk and what he's doing with electric cars and trucks in transportation. Now, I know everybody knows that he had a big display and demonstration on these electric trucks and how they were going to change what we were doing on the highways. Did you see any of that video, and what are you thinking about the delivery system of electronic use of cars and manless cars and driverless cars?
Well, I think that we've all thought for a long time that the traffic jams on the freeways wouldn't exist if everybody drove at a consistent speed, right?
That's exactly right.
And I think what I saw was a video where he was promoting a palletized system where the car would actually get onto a sled, so to speak, and the sleds would all move at a constant rate going forward and be spaced automatically. So there would be no slowdowns, or there wouldn't be any bottlenecks in the traffic system, which sounds interesting to me. The electric trucks look like a nightmare to me because they all look like trolleys. They all had electric wires running overhead like the old trolley systems.
Did you see the movie iRobot?
I did
Will
not.
Smith? Okay.
No.
iRobot. It's a story of how robots are there to help you, and they eventually, through some sinister guy, take over the world. But in one scene...
Like Westworld or something?
Yes, very much like Westworld.
Yul Brynner goes nuts?
Oh, I love the original. So in this particular case, in this scene, Will Smith's driving down the highway, and of course his automobile is engaged electronically in driving itself, but along came two large trucks, one in front of him and one in back of him, and they were, obviously the sinister behind the movie was causing these trucks to crash into him. And I thought, well, that's not too far from the truth. I think programming and the way things are working with GPS, I'm just always afraid of in a situation like that. Let's say the GPS system goes out. What happens? Does everybody just stop, or how does that work out, and how does that help? That was just my thought of the moment in terms of, is this Elon Musk idea the greatest idea? I like the idea too. I like the idea that we can get on the freeway and get home in a reasonable hour, and I don't have to pay attention to what's going on.
Well, there used to be a question on a psychological exam that says if you're on a road with a cliff on one side and a bus full of children is driving along, and you have to make a decision either to hit the bus full of children or drive over the cliff and kill yourself, which would you choose? It's an ethical dilemma.
Okay.
Right? So in order to make that decision, you have to have some sort of a human understanding of what the situation was. The logical, the programming of a machine, who knows what the decision they would make would be.
It's a programmed decision, or what they call fuzzy logic, which is, of course, the machine gets to make the decision, and of course that all lends back to...
You may not like the way the
Yeah, you may
results.
not like it, absolutely right. Okay, I wanted to ask a couple other things. Before we get to that, a little news to use section. We were talking earlier about the IRS coming into some problems with some new software that they've instituted on December 8th, and I'm just going to read you a little bit of an article by Brian Collins in the National Mortgage News, the service that I belong to and that provides me with some of the information for the show. He said the system known as the Income Verification Express System, or IVES, and by the way, if you're out there right now and you've got a loan working, there's a lot of talk about something called one-day certainty. Now, one-day certainty for borrowers means that if you need to verify income, if you need to verify employment, if you need to verify deposits, if you need to verify the value of the property you're either trying to refi or purchase, there's one thing called one-day certainty. And what this is a very quick electronic verification of the information that is needed, and it is available, and a lot of companies are using it. Not unlike the Rocket Mortgage situation, that electronically the information can be gotten to you so quickly that there is these products out there called one-day verification or one-day certainty. So in this, it talks about the same thing. In the Income Verification Express system, or IVES, to shorten it up. So what happened? The IRS made changes to it, and the bottom line is that the mortgage closings are going to be delayed many, many months. This is according to Ann Canfield, the executive director of the Consumer Mortgage Coalition. So what does this mean? This means there's a glitch in the software to verify certain things about your income, i.e., everybody knows that if you're going to get a loan, a 80-20 loan, that means 80% loan to 20% value, you have to verify your income through documentation through the IRS. So if you're doing that, right now, the glitch in this software system says that they're going to have problems doing it because they haven't worked out the problems in the software. If you're right out there right now and you're listening to me and you're wondering what the heck I'm talking about, call your loan officer, call your loan company, because this is something that's going to delay any closings. And it says, according to this, many, many months. So words of the wise. I'm Jeff Barton, your voice in the mortgage industry, and we'll be right back.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Successful Strategies International offers state-of-the-art PMP certification and an entire curriculum of project management, risk management, portfolio and program management by using unique learning techniques such as online learning, simulations, and facilitator lead programs. Our clientele consists of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in existence. SSI has trainers all across North America, Europe, and Asia to help meet your project management needs. Learn more at ssi-learn.com. That's ssi-learn.com.
Are you experiencing hair loss? We have the solution with no drugs, no surgery, and no side effects. Experience 100% pain-free results with Super Grow Laser Cap System, featuring 272 professional-grade lasers that make your hair thicker and fuller naturally. Use it 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week, and notice your hair growth in as little as 3 months. Visit online at irevivelaser.com to order your Super Grow Laser Cap today and experience unbelievable results. irevivelaser.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton, your voice in the mortgage industry. Our telephone number here is 888-713-2929. If you pick up the phone, you certainly can talk to me, and you can call me at any time at that number. We try to provide some great information to you, and if I can't help you, I'll try to point you in a direction that somebody else can. I had a guy who came into the office yesterday from Florida, and he was asking me about a certain type of loan, which I just couldn't do. We lend in, we're a lender down in Florida, but he was looking, and what happened, and it's very, thinking about it, he was a guy who was still upside down in his house, bought a house for $700,000 in 2006. Anybody out there remember 2006, how the real estate prices were? Oddly enough, they're kind of the same right now. But anyway, at that time, he bought a house for $700,000, and then the crash happened, and then he came up against payments. He refied, he did a loan modification, and then the loan modification came due, and he ended up, he still owes about 600 and some odd thousand, but the house value is only about 300,000. So he's still $400,000 underwater on his house. What's he supposed to do? So he came to us and he said, look, I have a friend who wants to buy my house. And I'm thinking, uh-oh. So it's not one of those deals where he's buying it as a beard. He actually does want to buy the house, and he's thinking, okay, I can go on the loan with this guy maybe, and we can buy it together. So right away, I have some issues with that kind of loan, just because it's supposed to be arm's length and it's supposed to be legitimate, and you're not supposed to sell it to yourself. So suffice it to say, I had issues with the loan, and he wanted to do an FHA loan, and I couldn't do the loan. So there are people out there still underwater, still in desperate situations, and there are loans that I can't do. I referred him to a non-QM lender, and I said, good luck to you, call this person. So if you're out there and you're thinking there is no hope from you and nobody's going to help, if I can't do it, I will certainly refer you to somebody who can. I wanted to go through a couple things for 2018 in the News to Use section and bring Daryl on once again. Thank you, Daryl, for coming to the show, to my rescue.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much. Okay.
I'm pleased as punch to be here.
Okay, excellent. Top 10 mortgage trends to watch in 2018. We're just going to go to the top 5. What do you think are some of the mortgage trends that are out there in terms of getting a mortgage? Difficult, not difficult? What do you think the top 5 trends might be?
Well, I mean, I'm sure that there's more of a trend to go toward these paperless companies, but I would be very cautious of that.
Well, you know what? It isn't one of the top 5, but that is something I would be cautious of as well. If you're one of these people who likes to see, feel, and touch and likes to go to the store and get things, which there's still probably 45% of the market out there that likes to do that, you're not going to like paperless. But that's not one of the top 5s. I'll give you a hint. It's about prices.
Well, I mean, obviously the rates obviously are of issue.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so what we're talking about here is the home prices are going to go up, which means that your mortgages are going to go up. And with the tax bill, and you have less to write off in terms of the over $500,000 buying a house crowd, there's affordability issues here with buying a house and getting a mortgage. So
I would imagine there is no bottom more than we've had a bottom at this point. And everything's U-shaped at some point. So we've spent so much time on the bottom at this point over the last year and a half, 2 years, that it's got to start trending back up.
Well, it does. And
inflation equals success in the economy.
You're absolutely right. And one of the things we haven't talked about is the Fed's raised rate, and it kind of went by unnoticed.
It wasn't enough of a raise to actually warrant any. When people raise rates, people think it's going to be 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points. So each point is, a quarter of a percent. But, when it starts going from 3.5 or 4.5 to 7 or 8, people are going to go, oh, now something's happening.
That's right.
But a quarter of a point, people go, who cares?
Well, the short-term rates, which are raised by the Fed, and by the way, there's a new Fed chairman, as everybody knows, Powell, and he's been in there or will be in there very soon. I think he comes in January or February when he gets sworn in. But there's a whole finance team now in place. Took the president about a year to get this all doing. There's Munchin over at Treasury, whether you like the guy or not, he's there. He wants less regulation. Or whether it's Ben Carson over at HUD, or whether it's this guy Powell over at the Fed.
And what was his background?
Well, he's not an economist. What he is what is his?
It's not what we've had in the past.
No. It's not an economist. I was just trying to think. I think he's in policy and has been in policy for many years through a lot of different administrations, going back to Reagan's administration. He's been around a long time. Was a surrogate of Janet Yellen. We think we're going to see a lot of the same policies in place, but in terms of what's happening with that particular raise in the Fed rate, that's the 3rd time this year, the 5th time in 2 years. It's the Fed funds rate, which affects a lot of the short-term lending, whether it be payday lending, your credit cards, your car note. This is what's affecting everybody on their credit card purchases over the holidays. So you would think there'd be a little bit more to it. A little bit more like,
substance?
No, not substance, just feedback from the general public. But it went by unnoticed. Maybe it's because of the holiday season. I don't know.
There's so much going on in the news today that it got overlooked.
There is so much going on in the news.
It got trumped, as they would say,
all the time. This president has a way of trumping even Trump, so it's pretty amazing. Okay, number 2 on the list, which I think is very important to understand. There's going to be more homes for sale. This is what this guy's saying in terms of the effect of housing trends in this year. So that's a good thing, right?
More built homes, more new homes built, or more?
Both. More new homes built. As a matter of fact, last month was the largest increase in new home starts that we've had this year. And one of the things about new home prices is that we saw prices rise nationally 6.3% last year, which is a pretty good number.
There's a trend right here in Ventura County right now that people that have been renting or leasing out their homes are trying to evict or get rid of the renters or leasers because they think that they can command a premier price for their homes and sell them at the moment because of the economy and also because of the fire.
Interesting. What is going to happen locally about that fire, and what's going to happen to real estate prices, and what's going to happen to demand and housing, and how 1,100 houses went down? So,
over 1,100, and what they're saying is the demand for people to replace those homes by moving and buying another one in the same area is going to be so high that people that again are renting or leasing their homes right now are going to try to take them back and sell them.
Yeah, I mean, the demand is going to be high here locally in Ventura County. Across Southern California, they say that there's going to be more homes on the market because obviously the affordability index is up. I also want to shift gears right now. Interesting, January 1st, marijuana becomes legal, right? Legal to own, legal to sell, legal to...
recreational use at some point. I think you can... grow a certain number of plants and you can smoke it.
Now, we talked about that on the show. Why 6 versus 5 versus 7? I have no idea.
10 or 3 or whatever.
Yeah, and we were trying to figure out...
if 3 of them are sickly looking, can you grow 7 or 8?
Right, exactly. I'm not that good.
I've never been a green thumb. Yeah,
exactly. So I wanted to talk a little about that in terms of addiction and in terms of some of the things that have come up about the negative side effects of marijuana. We always hear about the positive side effects, but for those of you out there who are thinking, hey, maybe this is the best idea since sliced bread, let's talk a little bit about the top 3 or 4 things that are negative in terms of marijuana. Addiction is obviously one thing that always comes up. People say that marijuana is not addicting, not according to the latest study. What's your feeling on it and allowing it to be legalized? Obviously it is. What are some of the effects that you might warn people of?
Well, first of all, I have to say that I'm 32 years clean and sober at this point. So
excellent.
I look at it differently than when I was actually using or drinking.
Right.
And there's certain people that I depend on to get me places that I do things with that I wouldn't want them to be under the influence of marijuana. Mm-hmm. Bus drivers, surgeons.
Anybody driving.
Anybody
Absolutely.
Doing critical things where it takes a fully realized consciousness to be able to participate, and that human life is at stake. I'm not sure I would want somebody high doing that for me.
Well, it's interesting because one of the top 10 reasons that they had here, the horrible side effects of marijuana, and this is by Julia Mulaney, and I really appreciate her article. She talks about really bad decision-making, obviously.
Or even being frustrated.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.